Tyson's first two opponents were reliable losers and gave him a chance to develop his confidence in the ring. His third fight against Halpin, a more experienced boxer, was his first real challenge.
Yep, 2 fights, 2 wins for Mike Tyson. We're back in Albany. We're back for opponent number 3. 23rd of May, 1985. Hard to believe Tyson's debut was just the 6th of March. He hasn't really crammed in hardly 6 minutes of fight action into his pro career so far. I wonder whether Don Halpin is going to extend Mike Tyson where Hector Mercedes and Trent Singleton have failed to do so. This is one formidable young man, Mike Tyson. Many felt that it should have been him and not Henry Tillman to go to the Los Angeles Olympics last year. But it was Tillman, won fair and square, beat Tyson not once but twice. He won the gold medal. Interesting to note that Tillman won the heavyweight gold, whereas Mike Tyson, of course, might have had some ambitions had he been a bit of a bigger guy, because he's not a big heavyweight. The super heavyweight gold at LA last year went to Tyrell Biggs. Tyson, let's get this in perspective. Forget what the press releases say. He's only 5'10". Some would have you believe he's 6 foot. He's 5'10". He is not a big heavyweight. He's only a kid. Yes, he is going to fill out, but it'll be interesting to see how he fills out. Already, if you look at him close up, there are great slabs of muscle on him. So, well, we will have to see whether he fulfills the promise that he has shown in his only 2 professional fights. In the blue tracksuit top there, incidentally, with USA on the back. That's his trainer, Kevin Rooney, who was a pretty decent welterweight in his day. Referee just giving them a little briefing. Don Halpin trying to give Tyson the eye, and I am glad. I tell you, I am glad I am this side of the ropes and not that side of the ropes, because Tyson looks mean, he looks menacing in the white trunks with a little green trim. Don Halpin, who has got a record of 9 wins and 18 losses in a 27-fight career. Significantly, not one of those 9 wins has been inside the distance, so he is not going to hurt Tyson. Can he survive? Tyson, we know from what we've seen so far, he is not a fighter who throws a lot of jabs. He likes to work in close, just puts out a little left feeler and then comes in swinging behind that. Halpin, nicely tucked up, good technique. But these body shots, they hurt. Trust me, they hurt. It's very rare that you will see a fighter stop with a single body shot. What they do is they sap your strength. They will wear you down in later rounds. That was a little bit near the borderline. Tyson gets away with it. You will note he's an orthodox fighter, Tyson. Left hand, left foot forward, as indeed is Halpin. It's probably asking a bit much in a young fighter's fledgling professional career to put him with a southpaw just yet. That'll come, that'll come. Already we're seeing a different side of Mike Tyson tonight. It's almost as if his corner have said to him, listen, you don't have to win every fight inside 1 round. Feel this guy out. This guy, professional fighter, Don Halpin, experienced, 27 fights. Tyson has had just the 2. So feel this man out. Give him a little bit of respect. Probe for his weaknesses. Find out what his weaknesses are. When you found out what those weaknesses are, then you can exploit them. Tyson, notably slower. Just hark your mind back to those fights we saw just a few moments ago against Mercedes and Singleton. Tyson exploded out of his corner for those 2 fights. This, a much more calm, a much more measured approach from this young man. Originally from New York City, now fighting out of the Catskills, where his mentor and father figure, Customato, has been raising him in the fistic arts. It looks as though, you know, that Halpin's going to get through a round. I hope I'm not going to eat my words. Tyson down on his heels, and we saw him up on his toes in the opening round, first couple of fights. It's almost as if, as I said a moment or so ago, that his corner have told him, just extend this a little bit. Don't be in a rush to finish. And this is a good opening round. Good opening round for both boys. Halpin, to his credit, he's come to fight. He's testing Tyson out, got through with one or two good jabs. I still think Tyson is winning the round on the sheer volume of punches throwing. But Halpin, he's no mug. Good first round. Round 2 of the third professional fight of Mike Tyson's career. Mike Tyson in the white trunks in the left-hand corner nearest us. We're in Albany in upstate New York. It's the 23rd of May 1985. Take your eyes off the ring card, girl. Watch the fight. We've had a good first round between Mike Tyson and his third pro opponent, Don Halpin. And all the more applause and praise for Halpin in that he has succeeded where the first two Tyson opponents, Hector Mercedes and Trent Singleton, failed, in that he has heard the bell for the end of round 1. Neither of those two gentlemen did. And it remains to be seen just how much Don Halpin, who's an experienced pro, having his 28th fight tonight, it'll be interesting to see just how far he can extend Mike Tyson. Great things expected of Tyson. Cus D'Amato, who, if you're a fight fan, will know was the guiding light behind the career of former world heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson. You will know that when D'Amato says this man can be a world beater, you've got to listen to it, you've got to respect it. But it's D'Amato will have seen things sparring that we haven't seen in Tyson's professional career, because we haven't had a chance to see yet exactly what he's capable of doing. We can see he's a superbly conditioned athlete. Well, that's down to Kevin Rooney and the gym work. We know that he's a good short puncher. We haven't really seen him throw a jab worthy of the name yet. But then again, the perfect heavyweight has yet to be born. I remember once the great Eddie Futch, trainer of Joe Frazier, sitting me down and telling me what Muhammad Ali's weaknesses were. And I was a fellow who thought Muhammad Ali didn't have any weaknesses until Eddie Futch told me. And when Eddie Futch had explained it to me, and you watched Ali next time, you realised the truth of what he was saying. So the perfect heavyweight has not been born, but maybe Mike Tyson might be, because that was a jolting little left hook that shook Halpin right down to his heels. He backs up, tries to hold. Tyson clubs him off again with the left. Now this is going to be a real test for Don Halpin. He definitely was hurt there, looks apprehensively at Tyson over his shoulder, plods gamely forward. Tyson just jinking side to side. Good upper body work from Tyson, looking for the opening, fires out a jab, misses. But again, these little hooks of his rarely do. Going back to what I was saying about Ali, never missed with a jab, but was not that good, strangely enough, fighting inside. Now, Tyson is almost the mirror image of that. Haven't seen him jab effectively yet, but boy, when he gets within close range, you better watch out, because he is a bit good. And he's starting to get through to Halpin now, and he's starting to hurt him. Leading with the right, just switching to southpaw there for a minute. Leading with the right hand, right foot forward. Good right hand again from Tyson. Hasn't quite got his range yet as the youngster. Far cry from those early days in Brooklyn. When he was a kid, by his own admission, he was a bundle of trouble waiting to happen. And who knows what would have happened if Cus D'Amato hadn't picked him up and taken him under his wing. Let's not dwell on that. Let's dwell on the positive. Let's dwell on the fact that we just might be seeing a man who could go on to great things in this heavyweight division. End of the second, Tyson glares at Halpin. Halpin, he's having none of it, ignores him, walks back to his corner. Tyson almost affronted that Halpin had managed to go 2 rounds. Round 3 now of this scheduled 6-rounder in Albany in upstate New York. Mike Tyson in the white, Don Halpin in the blue with the white trim. 2 completed rounds. Tyson has taken them both quite easily. But Halpin has posed in the sort of thought-provoking opposition that Hector Mercedes and Trent Singleton, the opening two opponents who folded inside and around, the pair of them haven't managed to do. And maybe Kevin Rooney in the Tyson corner has said, well, okay, you've worked this man out, open up a little bit now. Halpin, a little rueful grin, snakes out a right. You saw Tyson's head go back there. Score one, Halpin. Once again, Tyson switched to southpaw. Back to orthodox now. Now that's a sign of supreme confidence, isn't it? A young man in only his third pro fight, effortlessly switching between orthodox and southpaw. Again, fighting out of the southpaw stance. I think this is really just to see if he can, against an opponent who, as I've already said, is not going to hurt him. Halpin has never stopped anybody. I'm not even sure whether he's ever decked anybody. So he's not going to hurt Tyson. So Tyson can use this experience to just try out a couple of new moves, because there's a big difference between the gym and the ring, as any pro will tell you. And he hurt Halpin there. He backs him up against the ropes. The more experienced man holds on, the ref having none of it, pulls him apart. And every now and then, when Tyson gets through with a shot, he really shakes Don Halpin. And you can sense that Tyson maybe now is looking for the one big shot. Tyson himself just holds on. He's backed up himself on the ropes, turns him well. Halpin, wily old pro, the chin tucked down, but he gets clipped with the right hand then. He will not be able, I tell you, to take too many of those. Tyson now starting to double up, hooking off that jab, again fighting out of the southpaw stance, which he's favouring increasingly more in this fight. Maybe he's realised that Halpin doesn't like it when he comes at him southpaw fashion. Crowd, unlike the first couple of fights, pretty quiet, reacting to the good punch, but absorbed like I am, really, because, to be quite honest, having seen two one-round wins, I'd expected this to follow suit. I'd expected Don Halpin to be another sacrificial victim. Not to be. 3 rounds he's gone. Well, I don't think there can be too many doubts that Tyson has won all 3 rounds. And I would think that Kevin Rooney there in the blue tracksuit top is pretty satisfied with what he's seen. Tyson, in case it needs any saying, has never been remotely troubled at number 4. Has got a slight problem. Great cheer, biggest cheers of the night, as the ring card girl straightens it out. And fight fans are the same the world over. Show them pretty girl. Pretty girl gets the cheers. And the fighters, for the moment, are forgotten. Well, in the Halpin corner, they might, you never know, be harbouring thoughts of him being the first man to take Mike Tyson the full distance. Would be a first, wouldn't it? Round 4 then. Oh, good short. That's a short sneak right. Halpin's head jerked back. Now, Tyson has switched back to orthodox for this round. He's maybe had enough of playing around with southpaw. Maybe it was just a little vanity exercise. Maybe Kevin Rooney has said to him, okay, boy, you've had your fun. Now time for business. Well, this is a much slower and much more measured Mike Tyson. And Albany tonight, good right hand, Halpin down. You, behind the camera, had the most perfect view of that. Only difference is, you saw the punch, Don Halpin didn't. Mandatory 8, early in the 4th. Can Tyson finish this? I think so. I think so, that's enough. Now that last right-hander, that was questionable. Tyson celebrates. I didn't like to see that because Halpin was down and the back of his head snapped against the rope, and that could have been very dangerous. He's still a little bit dazed, is Don Halpin. Well, Tyson won. It was the manner of his victory, that one last right-hander. And they're keeping Halpin. Now, this I don't like to see. This is a little bit worrying. Halpin took one punch too many. The referee, I don't think he could have done much more than he did, to be quite honest with you. And I'm sure we'll see a replay in a minute. Yeah, here we go. Now this is the punch, the left hook that drives him across the ring. The fight was over then. Bang! That was the punch that caused all the damage. And the referee looked admonishingly at Tyson. I think he had stopped the fight by that point. It was the left hook, right hook combination that had finished it. Halpin was out on his feet at that point. If the ropes hadn't interrupted him, he would have been on the canvas. And that one extra right hook from Tyson, unnecessary, didn't like to see that. Got away with it. And I'm sorry to have to tell you, we're looking at Tyson here, I'm sorry to have to tell you that Don Halpin is still down on the canvas. Now they will be keeping him down just as a precaution. The worst thing when a fighter gets knocked out badly, the worst thing you can do is try and get him back on his feet quickly. And these are experienced cornermen, experienced ringside medical officials, and they will be just slowly, gently bringing Don Halpin round in his own time. We haven't as yet, thankfully, seen any call for a stretcher. And Tyson now looking a little concerned, maybe trying to justify why he threw that last right-hander. The statistics will show that it was a fourth-round knockout, and he's a little bit concerned, sort of shaking hands with Halpin's cornerman. The cornerman may be remonstrating a little bit with Mike Tyson there. The Halpin corner not happy. The crowd, as you would expect, subdued. No fight crowd anywhere in the world likes to see this sort of thing. As I was saying, it will go round, it will go down in the records as Tyson's third straight win. But the manner of the win, well, maybe a question mark over it.